Top three ways to make friends. Why should you listen to me? So in this picture, I was around 14 or 15 years old, and I was so obsessed with men's fashion at the time. I was buying too many clothes. I was trying to look cool around my friends. And back then, NMDs and Ultra Boosts were very popular. And I was like, I want to get a pair of NMDs. I want to get a pair of Ultra Boosts. Or if I buy that jacket, my friend will like me. Or if I buy that shirt, oh, my crush will finally like me. And I was buying too many clothes, right? And then now I'm 20 years old. And then I look back and be like, why did I buy so many clothes and shoes that I didn't even need? And I write it down, and then I realized that, oh, I bought so many clothes and shoes that I didn't even need because I want the social validation. Oh, why did I want the social validation? Because I was lonely back then. Like I was lonely. Like long story short, since elementary school, I was bullied because as you can see the picture, I was so skinny a few years ago. So I get bullied because I was so skinny, right? And because of that, I didn't have any friends. And then I was so obsessed with like men's fashion and trying to look good, trying to look amazing, look smacks, right? And then I still feel empty at the end. And I don't know when. Then I figure out, oh, it's because you're lonely. And then you were trying to get the validation from the clothes. But at the end, it's still the same. It's like it's still empty. So it's not worth it. And it continues until high school, and it's the same case in university. When I went to university, now I'm in my fourth semester. Like 2 years ago, when I decided to go to university, like I thought, oh, I will make so many friends. I will have so much fun in university. I will go out with my friends, hang out, and have a great time. And it's the same thing in university. Like I didn't relate to anyone. Everybody was doing different things than me. We have different habits. We have different lifestyles. And I just became lonely again in university. And then I figured things out. And right now I have a couple of friends. So on the left here, I was traveling around my city. So I live in Surabaya, Indonesia. And I was traveling around my city, like I was going to new cafes and restaurants. And I went to this cafe, and then I don't know why, my own brain decided to think, why don't you just talk to the owner right now? Maybe the owner is in the cafe right now. Why don't you just talk to the owner right now? Like my brain never think like this, but it's like, yeah. And then I asked the waiter, like, can you call me the owner? I want to talk to the owner. Like, if the owner is here, like, I want to talk to him. And she brought me the owner. And do you know, like, the owner of this coffee shop, the owner of this cafe is this 21-year-old guy. And I was like, bro, like, are you the owner? Like, bro, he is so young. Like, he is like, this guy is 21 years old, 22 years old. And he's already the CEO and the chairman of his own cafe. Like, think about it. Like, I'm here, 20 years old. This guy already owns the cafe, the CEO of his own cafe. I'm like, I felt so left behind. And then I talked to him. We have a great conversation, and we have a really great conversation. But it made me realize that there are like some 21, 22 years old, like with successful businesses. So I'm like, all right, I use that as motivation and drive to grow. And this middle picture here, so I was again traveling the city, like going to new cafes and restaurants, and I wanted to go to a bookstore to look at some books. So I went to the mall, I went to the bookstore, and I saw these two guys looking at books, and then I started a conversation with them. I'm like, "Oh, are you reading books as well?" And then we have a really great conversation, and then we take a picture together. I end up buying two books. I end up buying two books. They end up buying like one book, So it's a really great experience. And on the right here, this is the recent ones. So I go to the gym, and whenever I go to the gym, I always give myself a challenge. Like I always give myself a challenge of talk to two new people every single time you go to the gym. Like every time you go to the gym, talk to one new person every time you go to the gym. And then I was using the leg press machine, and this guy wants to join. And then I started a conversation. And then now he is my good friend. Now we work out together and we become really great friends. So as you can see, like I went from a skinny, awkward, lonely guy to like a pretty social guy after doing some things to improve my social skills. So my promise to you is I will teach you how to make friends faster and easier than you ever thought possible. This video is mainly for people that feel lonely, you're struggling to make friends, you get bullied because maybe you think you're weird, you don't relate to anyone, and just stay with me. I will teach you step by step on how to make friends and how to make friends faster and easier than you ever thought possible. So quick introduction. My name is Eric and I teach what I have just learned, and I hope this video helps you. Subscribe right now to get notified when I upload another video like this one. So, have you ever read this book? This book is called How to Influence and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is one of the most popular books of all time. And it's a book about social skills and human nature. And the step-by-step guide in this video is mainly taken from this book. So I really recommend this book if you're really struggling with social skills. If you feel awkward and lonely and you want to get to know people, you can read this book, and you can get this book on your bookstore or online. There are so many options. So the first part of the book talks about fundamental techniques in handling people. And the first principle is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. So, first of all, let me ask you a question. What do you say when you meet someone new? Do you say hi? How are you? Do you say I hate you? Do you say you look ugly? Do you say oh your shirt looks ugly? I like your shoes look ugly, or like do you give the other person a compliment? When you meet someone new, what is the first thing that you say? Maybe the first thing that you say is, "Oh, hi, hi, how are you? What's your name?" Like those kinds of stuff, right? But what do you really say in your mind? Maybe that guy is wearing like a really ugly shirt or weird shoes, and you probably think, "Oh, this guy looks ugly. This girl is weird." Like you judge the other person straight away in your mind. You know the saying, "Never judge a book by its cover," but we judge a person by their appearance, right? But most of the times, even when we think, "Oh, this guy looks ugly," or "This girl is weird," but when we talk to them, we're like, "Oh yeah, how are you?" We give them compliments, right? But what do most people do? Most people criticize, condemn, and complain. Criticism is dangerous. No one likes to be criticized. Have you ever criticized someone and it ends up like? Have you ever criticized someone and that other person likes you back? No. Every time you criticize your friends, your family, your co-workers, the other person ends up disliking you. The other person ends up not liking you. Criticism is dangerous because it hurts the other person's sense of pride. It hurts the other person's sense of importance, and it arouses resentment. No one likes to be criticized, and nobody likes being surrounded by a complainer. Like, have you ever had a friend or a coworker that complains all the time? They complain about their work, their family, their schedule, they're too busy, they're too tired. Like, nobody likes to be surrounded by that person, right? So avoid criticizing anybody, right? And another question is that when something bad happens, do you blame other people or do you take responsibility? when you get bad grades, when something bad happens to you, when things don't go as planned, when you plan to do X, but something happened and then you end up doing another thing, or you plan to meet someone at 1 p.m., but the other person is late and you get pissed off. Or let's say you're working in a group project and your friend is not doing anything. Your friend is not participating in the work and you get pissed off. When something bad happens, do you blame other people? Do you blame the external world? Do you blame the world? Or do you take responsibility of 100% of your actions? Because what do you get by blaming other people? What do you get by blaming the world? What do you get by blaming external factors? Oh, I'm broke because of that person. Oh, I'm broke because my family is poor. Oh, I get bad grades because the teachers cannot teach. Like, I think that's the most common one. Oh, I get bad grades because the teachers cannot teach. The teachers cannot explain the things well. Oh, I'm late because of the traffic. Oh, I don't have any friends because all people are losers. I'm better than everyone else. The reason I'm lonely is because I'm better than everyone else, and all people are losers. I'm the best. You gain nothing by blaming other people and the external world. Complaining and blaming other people or the world will not solve your problems. Do you know what will solve your problems? You solve your problems with taking responsibility on the things that you can control. On the things you cannot control, don't even think about them. It's like, oh, it's raining. You cannot control the weather. It's don't even think about it. Don't even complain about the weather. People think, oh, it's a sunny day, it's a good day, it's a good weather. Oh, it's raining, oh, it's a bad day, it's a bad weather. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's sunny or raining. It's like it's just, it's not good weather or bad weather, it's just weather. Like, nothing can make you upset. Like, nothing in this world can make you upset until you turn it into a negative thought. So take responsibility on everything that happens to you. And if you cannot control the things, if you cannot control the things you cannot control, then let them go, right? The book, this is the quote from the book: any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. But it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. What's the key words in this sentence? Like, anyone can criticize, condemn, and complain. Anyone can do that. But not everyone can have the self-control to be understanding and forgiving. What's the key word? It takes character and self-control. You have to have your own self-control to be understanding and forgiving. Try to understand other people. When is the last time you try to understand other people? Because oftentimes when, let's say, like, I used to play futsal, I used to play soccer, and there's always this debate, oh, who is better, Messi or Ronaldo? Like, let's say, for example, let's say we use the name Brian. Brian is a Messi fan, and Bobby is a Ronaldo fan. And let's say Bobby says to Brian, oh, Brian, Ronaldo is better. If Brian doesn't think twice and Brian decided to prove Bobby that Messi is better than Ronaldo, they're going to argue and they're going to resent each other. They're going to hate each other, right? But if Bobby said that to Brian, and Brian, instead of complaining and Brian, instead of criticizing Bobby, Brian can have, if Brian have the self-control to be understanding and forgiving, Brian can be like, oh, why do you think Ronaldo is better? He asks questions. And Bobby will be like, oh, it's because of this, or because of this, because of this. Oh, why do you think so? So instead of trying to prove Bobby that Messi is better than Ronaldo, instead, Brian is trying to understand Bobby. Brian is thinking to himself, oh, why does Bobby think Ronaldo is better than Messi? I want to know why Bobby thinks that way. Oh, is there any possibility that Ronaldo is better than Messi? Oh, that can be true. Like the second version of Brian will not create argument, but instead create a discussion between Messi and Ronaldo instead of arguing, right? When is the last time you try to understand the other person? Let's say you're talking to a friend, and let's say you're working on a group project. Your friend says, "Oh, we can do it this way." But if you don't try to understand the other person, you will be like, "Oh, no, 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 my way is better. This is the way." And then you argue. But if you try to understand your friend, you will be like, "Oh, maybe my friend is right. Maybe my friend's way of thinking is better than mine. Maybe my friend's opinion lead to the same goal. Is there any possibility that their different way of thinking leads to the same goal? The next time you have a different opinion than someone, ask yourself, is there any possibility that their opinion, their different way of thinking leads to the same goal? Maybe you have different opinions, but it leads to the same goal, right? Is there any possibility that they are right and I am wrong? This is tough. This is hard to do. Let's say the other person has a different opinion. Let's say you think fictional books are useless because it teaches you nothing. Because let's say you read non-fictional books and you have a friend that reads fictional books and you think, oh, fictional books are pointless. You learn nothing. But think to yourself, wait, what if there are fictional books that teaches you valuable lessons that the non-fictional books don't? What if the fictional books are actually better and teach you more valuable lessons than the non-fictional books? Oh, what if fictional books are more interesting? Because oftentimes non-fictional books are pretty boring, right? So it's like, instead of thinking you're always right all the time, ask yourself, what if I am wrong and what if they are right? It opens your mind instead of being close-minded. Is there any possibility that their way of thinking is better than mine? We have covered this one, right? So we have covered the first principle, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Principle 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. Have you ever given a compliment to someone? I mean, the next question is, when is the last time you give a compliment to someone? Like, have you ever given a compliment to your parents? Have you ever said to your father, like, oh, Dad, I know you have been working hard and I appreciate your hard work. And I'm really grateful that you work hard for our family. And I promise you one day I will work and I will provide for our family and I will retire you so that you never have to work in that job anymore. Have you ever said that to your father? Or like, have you ever give a compliment to your mother? Have you ever said to your mother, oh, Mom, thank you for cooking us the food. I appreciate your effort. You have been cooking all week and I know like you're a little bit tired. Maybe tomorrow, like you don't have to cook. Maybe tomorrow we can go out and eat together. Like, when is the last time you say that to your mother? Because oftentimes we don't give compliments to our parents because we think it's cringe. Oh, it's weird. It's awkward. But if you give that one compliment to your dad, to your mom, you don't realize what's happening. Your dad will remember your compliment for years after you say them. Your mom will be 20% happier that day because you give her that compliment. What usually happens after you give a compliment? Usually after you give compliments, the other person will be like, they will like cheer up more. They will seem like they are 20% happier and like you more, right? So who to give compliments to? Give compliments to everyone. Like, give compliments to lecturer, to parents, to friends, to everyone you talk to. Let's say you're in school or university and your teacher or your lecturer has just given a great lecture, has just given a great speech, a great talk. And at the end of the class, usually nobody gives them a compliment. What if after everybody has left the class, you go up to them and then you say, "Oh, Miss or Mister, like I don't know, Mister Brian or Miss Jessica." Maybe you say to them, "Oh, thank you for giving your talk. It was a great speech that you give. It was a great class that you give today." They will like you more. They will give you better grades, and you will become happier as well because you make other people happy. When you make other people happy, you become 10 times happier as well. What about your friends? Like we as men, we rarely give compliments to our male friends because we think it's gay. It's weird. Maybe we will think the other person like will say to us, "Bro, like stop being gay," like right? What if you just say to your best friend, "Oh, thank you for being my friend. I know I'm not perfect, but thank you for being my friend. I'm grateful to have met you." Like when is the have you ever said, "I'm grateful that I've met you in my life"? When is the last time you have a sense of gratitude in your life? Have you ever said, "I'm grateful that I've met you in my life" to your friend? Have you ever said to your friend? Have you ever said to your friend, "I'm grateful that I've met you in my life because you have you have been a great impact to my life. You have done so many great positive things to my life, and I'm grateful that I've met you." Have you ever said this to your friend? Like every time you're with your friend, you're talking, you're laughing, but have you ever said this gratitude things? Have you ever said, "I'm grateful that I have a roof on top of my head"? Because most people don't have a roof on top of their heads. "I'm grateful that I have food on the table" because most people don't have food on the table. They're starving in the streets. Have you ever said to your friends, "Oh, I'm grateful that you have done this thing for me"? If you say this, your friend will think that you're special, you're different, because no one is doing this. So the next time you see your friend, I challenge you to say to your friend, "I'm grateful that I've met you in my life because you have done XYZ to my life. Without you, I will not be able to be here where I am today." And you think it's cringe, it's awkward, but trust me, when you say that to your friend in a message or in real life, they will think you're special. You're not like everybody else. Give honest, sincere appreciation, and people will cherish your words and treasure them and repeat them over a lifetime. Repeat them years after you have forgotten them. Give compliments to everyone you talk to. The next time you buy something at the grocery store, say hi to the reception, say hi to the cashier guy, say hi to the cashier girl. "Hi, how are you?" "Oh, great, how are you?" And look at them and think to yourself, the next time you talk to someone, think to yourself, what is something that I can compliment about this person? What is something that I admire about this person? What is something about this person that I can compliment on? Let's say the cashier guy has a really great haircut. You can't say to the cashier guy, "Oh, you got a nice haircut." And the next time, and they will think, "Oh, thank you." The next time you go to a grocery store, they will see you and be like, "Oh, that's the guy that complimented my haircut. Oh, I like that guy." Even if you gave that compliment 6 months ago and you already forget about the compliment, that guy will still remember your compliment because maybe you're the only person that has ever given him a compliment in the last 6 months. Or let's say the next time you go to the gym, give compliments to the receptionist. "Oh, hi, how are you?" "Oh, great." "Oh, you, oh, you have a nice shirt. Where did you buy it?" "Oh, thank you. I bought it at H&M." Like after you like even if you give that compliment like a year ago, that person will still the next time you meet that person will think, "Oh, that guy's the guy that compliments me years ago. Oh, I like that guy." So that's principle two, give honest and sincere appreciation. And the next one is principle three, arouse in the other person an eager want. Every act you have ever performed since the day you were born was performed because you wanted something. As a kid, your parents told you, "Oh, if you get good grades, I will buy you this toy." And because you want the toy, but your parents say that, so you study, you get a good grades, and then you get a toy, right? You do something because you wanted something, right? So who knows him? Who knows this guy? This guy is Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, the car brand. He says, if if there is he said, if there's any one secret of success, he says, if there's any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. The next time you have a different opinion than someone, try to look at it from the other person's shoes. Like, if I'm him or her, what would I think? Let's say Brian thinks Messi is better than Ronaldo, Bobby thinks Ronaldo is better than Messi, right? Instead of judging and arguing with the other person, Brian can think, oh, why is this person think Ronaldo is better than Messi? Oh, maybe Bobby thinks Ronaldo is better than Messi because the Instagram algorithm gives him more Ronaldo content. Therefore, he gets more exposure to Ronaldo content than Messi content. Or maybe that's why he thinks Ronaldo is better than Messi. Or for me, maybe I see more Messi content. And that's why I think Messi is better than Ronaldo. If you look at from the other person's point of view, you will avoid so many arguments and resentments, right? And what do you think about this picture? What do you think about this picture? What is the first thing that come up to your mind when you see this picture? This picture describes a lot. You see, this picture is a salesperson that is angry on the phone, maybe because he doesn't get the sale. If you think about salespeople in general, like if I say the word salespeople, what is the first thing that come up in your mind? You will think, oh, salespeople, they're needy. Oh, they're desperate. Oh, they're trying to sell things to me that I don't even want, right? Why do you think there are so many bad salespeople? Why do you think there are so many tired and desperate salespeople? Because they only think from their perspective. They only focus on what they want, not on what the other person wants. So many salespeople think, oh, buy my product, because if you buy my product, I will get the commission. And if I get the commission, I will make more money. Do you think they make the sale when they have that mindset? No. Do you know what the greatest salespeople think? Do you know what the greatest salespeople mindset, like, do you know what mindset that the greatest salespeople have? They focus on the other person's needs and wants instead of their own. They prioritize other people's needs and wants than their own. Most salespeople only think about what they want. Oh, I want you to buy my product because if you buy my product, I will get the commission, I will make more money. But the other person doesn't care about that, right? So many salespeople do not see from the other person's point of view. So many salespeople don't think, okay, are my products solving people's problems? Does my product solve people's problems? Because if your product doesn't solve people's problems, then nobody will buy your product, no matter how hard you try to sell them. But if your products solve people's problems, if your products fulfill people's needs and wants, people will buy your product without you needing to sell it. So the next time you try to sell something, the next time you try to persuade somebody, the next time you want somebody to do something for you, you have to ask yourself, what do they want? Let's say I'm making this video. Before I record this video, I think to myself, how can I make this video so good to the point that people still share my videos 5 years from now? And you might think, oh, that's absurd. Like your video is not that great, but it's better to have that mindset instead of thinking, oh, I want everybody to watch my video, right? If you give value, if you think about the other person, if you try to understand the other person, if you think to yourself, how can I solve people's problems? If you think like that every time you try to sell your products, or every time you want someone to do something, you will get so successful in life. You have to know what people want, not what you want. You want the sale, but nobody cares about the sale. People only care about buying products that solve their problems. Does your product solve their problems? If the answer is no, then no matter how hard you try, you will not make any sale. But if your products solves people's problems, they will buy your products regardless of your effort trying to sell. Let's say Amazon. People buy on Amazon all the time. Why? Because it's convenient, it's comfortable. People don't need to go outside and waste money on gas. They can just order online and it gets shipped to their house within days. It solves people's problems in terms of convenience, money, and comfort. Or you buy food. Why do you buy food? Because you're starving. That's why you buy food, to solve the problem of starving. That's why many food companies and industries never dies. Why? Because people constantly need food to survive. They solve the problems of hunger and starvation. That's why they never die, right? Or you buy shoes. Why do you buy shoes? Oh, because you don't want to hurt your feet. That's why so many that's why so many footwear companies are still growing, because you need shoes, right? So an actionable steps that you can do is, number one, take responsibility instead of complaining and blaming other people. Every time something bad happens to you, every time things don't go as planned, every time the weather is bad, every time you fail at something, don't blame the world, don't blame your parents, don't blame your past, don't blame anyone, don't blame the city, don't blame the government, don't blame anyone. Blame yourself. Acts happen because of me. And then you think to yourself, okay, what's the solution? Is this the things that I can control? If you cannot control it, let it go. If you can control it, then figure out the solution. Number two, give one compliment to someone every day. I give you this challenge. Just give at least one compliment to someone every day. To the gym receptionist, to your parents, to your friends, even to the customer service. No one gives compliments to them. No one, like, everybody treats the customer service person like they don't even exist. They ignore them. Well, if you just give them a compliment, oh, thank you for cleaning the room. Thank you for cleaning the office. Or the next time you buy a cup of coffee, just give compliment to the barista. Oh, sir or ma'am, you make really great coffees. Like, the coffee tastes nice. Like, great job, right? Or the next time you eat a really nice steak at a restaurant, give compliments to the chef. Oh, let's say you cannot go to the kitchen. You can just like say to the server or the one who serves you, oh, like, just so you know, you can send this to the chef. You can say this to the chef that the steak is incredible. So yeah, you can say that to the chef, right? And the third thing is to try to see things from the other person's point of view. The next time you disagree with someone, think to yourself, what if their way of thinking is better than mine? What if they are right and I am wrong? That's a hard one, but it will avoid you so many arguments and resentments. What if they're different? Like, what if their opinion leads to the same goal? Right? So that's an actionable step. Take responsibility, give one compliment to someone every day, and try to see things from the other person's point of view. So, fundamental techniques in handling people. Principle 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Principle 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. Principle 3, arouse in the other person's eager wants. So I've said to you in the first slide, I've covered everything that I promised to you. You will be able to make friends faster and easier than you ever thought possible from this video. So this is what I have just learned, and I hope this video helps you. Subscribe right now to get more videos like this one.